in to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucius, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde, and the governor. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience. Yes, sir. We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
And it's recording time. Like closing time, but recording time, kind of. Not really. Anyways, welcome to Athletics LLC, everyone. Another fun night. Trying out a new method. We'll see how it works. Let's see who breaks the rule first. I'll be keeping the score, gentlemen. But
You're
anyway,
well on your way.
I know. Clyde, shush. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm in the Tesla trying to make it to a camera.
Just make sure it doesn't take you back to the factory, sir.
Right.
Now that would be funny if the Tesla auto reset. He was like, "Why are we back in wherever the factory is?"
Why am I in Fremont right now? Sir Lucius, lovely to say your name. How are you tonight, sir?
I am well. Still a little hangover from the weekend, but I'm good. I'm good.
Were you busy this weekend?
What happened?
I went to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and the track meet broke out.
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
Oh,
Right.
they have track there.
Yeah, they do. Pretty good one too.
They play track. They play track.
They play track.
Yeah,
They play track.
they play track.
What does it say? Well, on the side of the track, it's like the world's. It's not
Fastest.
Tracktown USA. It's there's a big sign.
Track.
Yeah.
World's fastest track.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
Is
man.
that still true though?
No, but it will always be true as long as like
There's a sign.
well the championship part of the championship part of the year, right? If you put the SEC talent on that track, you're going to get ridiculously fast times. But I will tell you this.
All right, stop. Governor, how are you tonight?
Oof.
I'm doing good.
We were on our way around the block. Great job.
Okay, this is March 2023 Chew. Okay. You get the fingers too. Okay. All right. Let's get this ball rolling. All right.
Oh, man. I was given a task. I take my job seriously.
Okay.
Can't get fired when I'm volunteering. Or can I?
Oh shit.
Oh, man. Last but not least, we'll unmute him. Lamar, Darkness Retreat Offense, how are you?
Hi.
What? Didn't he say don't get in your feelings? Did he not say that? He said,
Yes, he did.
don't get in your feelings when Chu tells you to stop talking.
So I said hi.
Somebody.
Right now, I wish I had tried the Darkness Retreat though.
Okay.
I
We
was
all have
just
some dark spots.
listening to Aaron Rodgers talk about bumping into the bathroom and the sink and he said the most dangerous thing in the room was this big hook that was hanging out of the wall because it was to put your towel on, but without the towel on, it was just a big hook.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Anyhow, on to more productive conversations. I mean, to say track is back is like the biggest understatement in the world, like undersell. Like, that's like saying you're going to go to Mastro's and you end up at Sizzler. It's an undersell. I mean, not knocking the Texas toast at Sizzler, but I mean, Sir Lucius was at the SEC meet. There was like you couldn't even finish the first highlight before the second highlight happened. And then even the highlights in between the heats, like ridiculoso.
Yeah,
I felt like I was playing ping pong. I was watching the SEC meet and the Big 12 meet. Like,
yeah, the SEC meet was the SEC meet, and they still feel like it's the fastest track in the world. And whenever we have the SEC meet there, kind of acts like the fastest track in the world. So
Mhm.
phenomenal performances. I think that for me, the energy in the building, I will say that having what Leroy and his crew are doing at Auburn and what Dwayne and his crew are doing in Tennessee have definitely added to the intensity of the meet. When it takes 23-0 to make the women's final,
Yep.
and that same 23-0 doesn't make the big meet, right? So this tells you what kind of a competition the SEC was this year. So it's pretty phenomenal. So, but I mean, I think we look at highlights. I thought let's just start with the men's long jump, right? Cameron Crump. I mean, and the thing was, if you're in the building, RJ never thought Cameron wasn't going to win. Never. He threw the rounds and he was just telling him what to do, and then when he hit it, it was like, yep, that's what I was looking for. So and then the young man, and I don't know his name, so Kareem, I'm gonna ask you to tell me what to tell his name, but the young man that won the triple jump, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That was still from a short approach. So
I know.
Yeah.
He broke out 2 more steps for y'all. He gave y'all 10 this time.
Exactly. The dude is just, he's that guy. We just see that we really need to hope that he stays healthy and that he decides to stick around in college for a while so we get a chance to see him more often. But the young man is absolutely fantastic. He is.
Jaden Hibbert.
Yeah, Hibbert.
Yeah. We started hearing about his legend back in Jamaica, and 15, 16 years old, and he goes to World Juniors and lights that on fire in Cali last summer. And then that whole process of him getting to Arkansas, and then the short approach at New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Wait a minute. What did he just do? Phenomenal.
Yeah.
The sport might take care of that part in terms of him staying.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And unless we start seeing an emphasis on the horizontals again, I think he'll probably be around for a while. And I think it's good for the collegiate game,
I was about to say, the way the structure is right now, he definitely gonna make more money at Arkansas than he is turning pro. So he may as well stay there.
Well, remember, he can't make NIL money. He's not an American.
Mm-hmm.
When he goes home, he can get it though.
The collective.
But there's no collective connection with Jamaica, trust me.
Right.
If there is to be one, Arkansas will figure it out.
Okay. Shots fired, and I want to dodge that bullet. Hey, there was also the men's 400 was rather spicy.
Yeah.
When 45-15 gets you fourth, right?
Tough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And look, they've clearly figured out something with Elijah Godwin. You got to give Carol and her staff credit for that. That guy, he's really kind of dialed in right now.
Yeah. What I noticed the most about that was, when he goes to I call it the skating part of his race. It's what he does. I noticed
it's a great description. Yeah.
Yeah, he delayed that. I saw a delay. It wasn't as much of that. It was more like the last 30 or 40 meters as opposed to the last 100, So phenomenal job. That was pretty awesome. There was a bunch of chaos in the 4x4, man. Good Lord.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. Never seen anything like that in my life. Cannot figure out. We were all standing around kind of like, what? Because look, everybody in the building thought Arkansas was about to run like 3:21 indoors, right? Because Chris Johnson, it's like, hey, let me pick what 51-second girl I want, right?
Yeah,
and then Amber Renning goes out and runs 50.5. So immediately, nobody's really worried about the team battle or anything like that because obviously it was over. But like, let's see how fast Arkansas is going to run, and then everything just went nuts. It was crazy. It was crazy. My poor leadoff girl gets bumped around so bad, and she could hardly finish the race, and it just went
south
like real fast. But five teams finished.
That's so crazy.
Five teams scored. It was just a mess. It was.
Oh,
well, I have two things for that. As a coach who neither of my 4x4s managed to finish our races either this weekend, I feel your pain, brother. But I want to add, I got to take this time since we're on a truncated time clock. Somebody said that the Big 12 was dual meet last week, and Oklahoma State said, hold my beer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need some time to address that nonsense.
I mean, Oklahoma State just, he outcoached everybody. He went when everybody wasn't. That was a brilliant job by Dave and his crew.
And deep into the well too.
When you look at those results, when you look at the results of the Big 12 meet, it's clear that Dave said, I want you guys to pay attention to the freak show that is going to be the sprints while I quietly stack up points in places where nobody's paying attention. Brilliant move on his part. And the nonsense that Texas Tech pulled on the men's side, I mean, come on, like really? Okay.
Literally, it's like standing there, the race starts, and you see everybody's shoulders do this. And you just see the black cross the line. And I mean, there was a DQ in one race. The hurdle race was crazy. Terrence did well in the 60, and you're just sitting there like, sure, Calvin, great job, Dabs, walk by. Just make it hurt a little bit less. Just keep walking.
The sprint portion definitely was a dual meet.
Yeah.
No, it was
listen,
inter squad.
None of us saw. Look, I'll be the first person because I was the loudest. I will give Dave all of the credit because he was the mastermind in the. They forgot that there's a 600 and 1,000 in this meet. So we're usually in a conference meet, we got the 8, the mile, the 3, the 5, and the DMR. I got 8 mile, 3, 5 DMR, 600,000. Hold my beer. Right. Well, and then we're sprinkling a couple of field event points in there, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is they had presence in the field events, and that's where I saw them. And you're like 1, 2, 3. Wait, what? There's another 3, and then there was 4 in the high jump, and I'm like,
So between the 600 and the 5K, 85 points.
There you go.
So on the ladies' side, there is a young lady who ran almost every one of those races.
Wow.
She didn't run the 6, but I think she ran 3 or 4 of those races, and they had a guy who did the same.
Obviously I wasn't in the building, but that was John McDonald-esque. That's what that was. Yeah. I as when I my first couple of years as head coach, and we start to get it going, and we win the indoor meet, and we go outdoors, and Arkansas goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 in the 1500. Charlie Donald walked by me and goes, had to take the speed out of the mouse.
Seriously.
And I'm like, I think we literally scored over 100 points that year, and they beat us by 7.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I will say this. I'm not going to try to disrespect any other conference meets, because if we don't get to them in our time limit, don't be mad, but I'm going to say this. There was about a 40-minute span where I was like flabbergasted at the fact that in the same heat, 3 Florida guys ran under 46 seconds.
Yep.
And then deja vu, 3 Baylor guys did it too. And I was like, what is
Yeah.
Where are we? What
well, see, when
this
Baylor
never happens and now it's just happening.
Yeah, when Baylor did it, as the governor put in our chat, that's the Baylor we remember, right?
Yes.
You know, that's your grandfather's Baylor.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, and he had
Florida,
a smile.
Florida, we don't do that around here very often.
But here's what I thought was the shocking part, right? What I thought was, again, coaching. Baylor puts 3 guys under 46 seconds in the same heat, and Oklahoma wins the 4x4. You gotta love it. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of 4x4s, Alabama 301 by themselves.
I mean,
Yeah.
From the slow heat.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I would be remiss, and so I mean, I don't get in trouble. Jasmine Moore's pretty good. You know, I mean,
Jasmine Moore does what Jasmine Moore does.
Jasmine Moore very much looks like the Bowerman runner-up again.
Please stop.
I mean,
I will never stop. Listen, Jasmine Moore
can't-
got my vote for Bowerman last year.
You can't be the runner-up. You can't be the runner-up if you're not on the dais.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Hey,
wait.
So
we'll get her
anyway.
on the dais this year.
Yeah, anyway, Jasmine was phenomenal, and you know, I'm not trying to play Homer here, but Talitha Diggs, holy cow!
So that's what I was just going to say.
Like, just took the air out of the building. It really did.
Yep.
Well, so, and Lamar said it in our group chat, but literally, because obviously I was at the Big 12 meet, and Rashida, I can't say her name. I think it's Rashida.
Rashida.
Yeah. And then, you know, she ran her race. And literally, as we're going, like, she crosses the line, everybody's like oohing and eyeing and all these things, and still lasting all these times. And I'm like, the SEC hasn't run yet. The SEC hasn't run yet.
Is that the shortest record in the history of sport?
Well, therein is the issue that is, I think, that we are victimized by. Can you imagine that being blasted out to the world, that this happened in succession? 50-33, 50-17?
15.
Oh.
Within less than 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's unbelievable stuff. That we are pushing the envelope every single time. We haven't gotten to nationals yet.
I know.
On a faster track.
So here's what it wasn't at altitude. So the key here is that Amber Anning ran 50 point, which one, 50-60 something?
Yes.
Or 50-50, and nobody's even mentioned that, right?
Nope.
She gets, you know, her performance gets overshadowed by Talitha's and then pushed back even further by Rashida's.
Man.
You know, crazy. But she looks phenomenal. You know, she's running very confidently now. And, you know, there was, as they were getting to the blocks, there were people, some Arkansas girls, and actually some people from Ole Miss that went to school with Amber when she was at LSU, that were yelling, "Amber, you got to get out! Amber, you got to get out!" And in my head, I'm like, "Please get out! Please get out!" You know,
Keep going.
Because I mean, like, I knew I was going to make the race fast. Like, I was walking out before the race, and Coach Welty said, "Talitha wants to know what her race model is." I said, "Talitha, just get to the break first." That's all I told her. Just get to the break first, because I knew Amber was going to go out, and so.
One piece of track is back that we neglected to mention last week, and I'm going to let it have its last minute and 30 seconds here, is the shift move that Michael Norman made, or announced. Let's call it that way. He's announced it at this point. That'll be participating. I'll be nicer than that. He's going to be competing in the 100.
Did you say participate?
I did. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
And you will be a meme this week. You will be a meme this week. Just get ready.
Oh God.
I mean, listen.
Competing in the one.
As long as he doesn't become a Fugazi time trial world.
Right. I am super duper excited and rooting for this to go well, but I am completely and utterly prepared for it not to. Not because, and not having to have anything to do with him, but like, let's be clear, like, there are 9-7 dudes active he has to beat.
Yep.
Right? These are not figments of people's imaginations. I mean, they're not old.
Yeah, I mean, so I think the thing you have to address here is, potentially can Michael beat them all? I agree, he can.
Sure.
I'm not telling you that he will, but I mean, other than Fred, when you're talking about overall sprint talents, those two are cut above the rest of them. If you talk about
Yes.
the fact that they can run all three,
Yes.
and I don't think there's anybody, anybody with any serious track knowledge that doesn't believe that if Michael Norman shows up and he's healthy,
Yeah.
we got a show,
Gonna
folks.
make noise. Yeah.
We got a show. And I think might have been Clyde that mentioned it amongst us. It's like, it's kind of a brilliant move in the fact that he's doing it in a year where he's got to buy in the 400. So if he doesn't make it in the
Exactly.
100, hey guys, I'll still see you in Budapest, right?
Yeah.
I got the wild card.
Just training, just a little training
Exactly,
session.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, could we say that Fred has paved the way for this? Fred has already shown that it can be done.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think so. But if you go back to when he won the Bowerman, see, people forget when he won the Bowerman and John Anderson was interviewing me, he said in his interview, Coach Carroll said, I was talking to Coach Carroll and Coach Quincy, and we agreed that once I win a world championship, once I win a medal in the 4, I can go down and run the 1.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, and that's okay.
Yep, that absolutely happened. And
Yep.
my quick 2 cents on this issue is simple. Fred doing it and making it work actually makes this more of a ballsy decision by Michael, because now it has to work. If it doesn't work, he will become a joke.
Well, there's a precedent. There's a precedent for it.
Right, but it has to work. Like, he can't make this move and it not go the way it needs to go. So I'm here for it. I absolutely think it will work. And, I'm here for the show. I'm definitely here for the show.
I promise that was an accidental slip of the wording, because I've been a Michael Norman fan since he was in high school. I recruited his best friend. I promise you. I promise you. So anyhow, this is how
remember us all being at the
so much
state meet.
PC.
I remember us all being at the state meet, and I'm sitting 2 seats from Quincy, right? And I look over at Q and I said, why is everybody else recruiting Michael? He looks at me and starts laughing. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, bro, there's no shot he's not going to SC. He just looks at me. I was like, Q, you're you. And he just starts laughing. I was like, at some things, man, like, look, California kid that wants to be a great quarter mile sprinter, and that guy shows up at your house to recruit you. Like, it's kind of hard to say no.
This is true.
Right? Like, it's just kind of hard to say no to that. But that particular event, that particular kid, that particular person, like, that's just kind of tough.
Okay, hold that thought. Next topic. Speaking out sprinters. Best sprint talents in U.S. history, top 3.
Ooh,
Talents?
Yes. I like this.
Best ever.
U.S. history.
Oh man.
So why don't we just go down let's just like look at Santa Monica and HSI. and I think also, like, that man, come on. No, my brain is going to explode.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm the kid that's taking this ball and going home. I don't want to play.
My fault.
Well, look.
Holy
Here's let's do this. Rather than us all like belabor ourselves.
Who came up with this question?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, but that's the fun of it all, right?
You know, you did it. You should be sent to your room.
Why?
And only fed 2 meals a day.
Hey, this is a great topic for you guys. You got to remember something. We can debate this topic for an hour, but that debate is going to educate 3/4 of our audience who doesn't know what we know.
Like nobody's debating that it's a great question. It's just going to make people's heads hurt.
So look, let's
yeah.
do this rapid fire.
Top 3 ever?
Look, just go around in circles and just name a person, and then we'll just keep moving.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cheat because I can't help myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
3 names: MJ, Fred Curley, Tyson Gay.
All right.
Now I'm gonna go old school, Carl Lewis.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say this guy because I coached him, Dennis Mitchell. And then I'm gonna circle back to a guy that I don't think gets enough credit, Leroy Burrell.
Woo. Okay.
I'm going to ask to re-ask the question because I got computer problems.
That's more than fine. Best sprint talents in U.S. history, top 3.
Talents?
I'm jumping in front. I'm jumping in front of Clyde.
I keep saying that.
I'm jumping in front of Clyde, and I'm gonna drop my 3. No order. Carl Lewis, Quincy Watts, Arion Knight.
Wow.
U.S. sprint talents.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Mm-hmm. See, because trust me, it was hard for me not to name Henry Thomas.
Yeah. Okay. Talents?
See?
Yeah.
And it's specific to sprints, you said.
Yes.
Yes. And specific to the U.S.
Shit, I'm gonna have to.
Got Clyde cussing, see?
You know what? I am gonna say Henry Thomas.
See?
And then I'm going to say Arian Knighton and Michael Norman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to say for the record, all of us will agree with this name, but none of us said it. Obi Moore.
Oh, he.
Yeah. See, the only thing that hurts Obi, he really didn't dip down into the 1, but
Right.
But he did.
Right.
He went from the 2 to the 8 pretty daggone nice. So yeah.
Right. Like at one point in time, that dude had the school records of John Muir from the 100 to the mile.
Dave,
Yeah.
so pause. Everybody gets a +1.
None of us can take Obi.
Yeah. Okay. So again, I'm gonna go Homer on this one because I cheat because I coached the guy, John Capel.
John Capel.
Because trust me,
He's definitely
John
on my
Capel
short list.
he can run 43 seconds. Now he wasn't going to, but he could.
He's definitely on my short list.
So you understand
I
why I cheated, why I said I cheated, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up the top 3 USA 100, 200, 400 combos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That was the top 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, but that's why Henry Thomas
guess
goes
who
in
was
that
next
list.
on the US list? And this is a thing that we all tend to forget about because of what that man did for a very short period of time.
Who is it?
Who is it?
Xavier Carter.
Oh, the X-Men.
There you go.
Holy cow.
Well, okay.
How can we forget what this young man did?
Yeah, because we didn't cheat the way you did. Start looking up lists.
Right.
All right. So that's the governor's +1. Everybody gets a +1.
That's my +1.
No, look,
Okay.
that's a +1 and a mic drop. That's what that is.
Well, now, again, I got computer problems, which I've now fixed. Hopefully you can see me clearly.
Yeah.
I did not hear in the re-ask. All I heard was American sprint specific talent. That's what I heard.
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm adding a +1, I'm gonna step out and say that all of us decided to hear that question with another additive in there that was never said, and I'm gonna say Allison Felix because
No. We're doing the women next.
We just did the men. Dang.
Come on, man.
Hey, I said I didn't hear it right.
This show
Okay.
is 0% sexist.
Hey, I was making sure to cover our bases here. Well, then no, X-Men was the obvious next answer, and he stole it, so forget it.
Well, so Henry would have been my +1
Okay, good.
because he
Move
was hard
to
for me
the
not to put on the list in the first place.
Opposite gender.
Oh man.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
sprints.
I'm just
Okay, so
female gender.
everybody collectively say Allison Felix, and then we'll move on.
Yeah,
Right.
it's everybody's +1.
Okay. We'll make Allison everybody's +1 or everybody's 1, and everybody get 3 more because you're not going to get beyond Allison. Be back as far as I think obviously Sonya.
Okay.
Yeah. Sonya
So
Richards
can anyone guess who the 2 athletes that are ranked ahead of her in U.S. history?
Ahead of Sonya or ahead of
No, ahead of Allison. She's the third
Allison.
best.
Third best as far as the 1-2-4
1-2-4 combo.
Americans.
American.
Let me take a gander at Valerie Briscoe Hooks.
Nope.
Well,
Chandra
Marion's
Cheeseborough?
ahead of her.
Nope. Marion.
don't
and-
count.
Stop that. Don't do that.
Marion and Flojo.
Yeah, Flojo, sure. Marion don't count.
I'm not.
Damn, what
I'm
you
not
talking
doing
about?
this. I'm not doing this with
Lest
you.
we forget.
She's on the list. She's on the list.
Flojo 1049, 2034, 5089.
Yeah.
2134. Please, let's not make
2134,
2034.
Marion 1065, 2162, 4959.
I forgot
oof.
she ran 49.59.
Yeah. I was like, no, Marion's on that damn list.
Hey, the governor's just dropping mics all over the place.
The governor is dropping
Here's
Google
one for
all
you.
over the
Here's
place.
one.
He's dropping
But
Google.
still, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
He's got quick Google fingers.
I'll state the obvious, right? Like, if we're just going to use numbers, I mean, clearly Abby Steiner's making an assault at this list
Believe
Yeah.
so.
yeah,
because she's run under 11, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, and my next is, Talitha, because this man took 7:15 and 22 mid out of the NCAA meet because
7:14. Don't cheat her.
7:14. And that's the crazy part. She's run 14 and 15 this year,
Hold
right?
on a second. And trust me now, because somebody watching this show was going to get on me for not correcting you.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
facts.
going to, So
Well,
don't get me
I
in
don't-
trouble tonight.
If we're sticking to one at a time protocol, I'm throwing Gwen Torrance in that.
So
Mhm.
Gwen Torrance is number 4 on that list.
Yes.
3
And
for
guess
real.
who? And just as you said,
Great job, Clyde.
Valerie Briscoe is right behind her.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm
And
gonna.
Cheese has got to be there somewhere, doesn't she?
Cheeseborough, ooh, she's actually pretty down there.
I'm gonna say this person. I don't know this person's 400 PB, but I do know that this person ran 208 in an 800. Does anybody know? She's a very short sprinter. Nails about this long.
What?
Gail Devers.
Gail Devers.
Wow.
Saw that.
Remember, Gail was a 300 hurdler in high school.
Unbelievable.
Like Gail ran 208 in a meet.
Well, listen, if we're not trying to make this complicated, let's not extrapolate it out to the 8.
No. What I'm saying, my point is, I don't know what she's run in the 4, but I'm going to assume that it would be good because she ran 208.
No, for sure. Obviously, Sydney belongs on this list somewhere. I don't care if she's run the 100 or not.
She has.
She has run that. Yeah, she has.
There you
run
go.
that,
Yeah.
It was windy, right? But she did run 10.
Yeah, that was at Tennessee, right?
Yeah, earlier. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So it's Briscoe, Sanya Richards Ross, Evelyn Ashford, Chandra Cheeseborough.
Yeah.
That's
Did
crazy.
Evelyn ever run a quarter?
5108.
Yeah.
I mean, he just said.
Well, you have to see. Everybody thinks this whole running the 1, 2, and 4 is a new thing. Back in the day, sprinter
Back in
meant
the day, you had to do
ran
it.
back in the day, sprinters mean you ran everything from the 1 to the 8, right? That's what it meant.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 10 minutes between
Hence Gail,
events.
hence Gail running 208. That's what folks did back in the day. I mean, to just to try to throw a caveat here, when it comes to this kind of a thing, like the old school method, the Bobby Kersey's of the world, the John Smiths of the world, that's what they did. And John loves to say, you can't run the rounds without going around the track, right?
That's right.
So
I before we go, Chu, I need to get in it. I don't know who Pam Marshall was. She's on this list.
She's from that same era.
She was on the relay team. I think one year, somebody posted a picture of this recently. It was Pam Marshall, Alice Brown, Flojo, and somebody else. 3 of those were coached by Bobby.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, Pam Marshall was another Bobby Kersey, bro.
1101, 2193, and 4999.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, see, that was the norm.
That was the norm.
Yeah, but, back then that's what people did. Like we very rarely see these days somebody that's runs one of the 100 on a 4x4.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely see that. And again, I'm just gonna give a real shout out for this one. Julian Alford's for real people.
Oh,
and she's one of those that will, she's run 697, and I know she split 52 low this year, maybe 51 high. Yeah. So yeah, she is the real deal. So welcome to the Bowerman committee being confused yet again this year. So.
Yeah, this one's gonna be wild.
Just get the dais right.
And here again, you're not making it easy for him because you got two Gators again.
Hey, I'm just doing my job. I am going on the record now publicly saying this. I do not care. I'm not. They will never upset me again, because the Bowerman, it's nice, and I'm glad it's, but I'm not going to let the opinions of whatever this committee is, right or wrong, cause confusion in my life again. Because it really was bad for a couple of my athletes last year. It really was. So I'm not going to let that happen again.
And that's why you're the leader.
Thank you.
That's why. So last question, so we're speaking of these different gendered sprinters. Is it problematic that the new NCAA single gender schedule has all but eliminated the natural sprint double, while still allowing for the mile, 3K, 5K attack, let's call it? However you.
Well,
it's calculated.
This is specific to the 2-4 double, because you can still double 60. Yeah, you can double 62, but you can't double 64 or 2-4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's calculated is what it is.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I have a problem with people peeing on my head and trying to tell me it's raining.
Wow.
The regular track meet that you can see at a regular meet or at a conference meet should be able to be duplicated at the national meet. If you can run a 4-2 double at an SEC meet or Big 12 meet or any level of conference meet, you should never put together a time schedule that doesn't allow that to happen at the national meet. Because if someone runs 20, 29 and 45 dead, I want to see that at the national meet. If somebody runs 22 in the middle and 50 friggin' 0.1, I want to see that at the national meet. And no offense to whoever was 17th, they don't deserve to be at the national meet just because of the time schedule. So my issue is, if distance coaches are not having to make choices between obvious doubles, right? Like, look, you're the best athletes are the only ones we're talking about, because in order to double, you have to be phenomenal. But if I got somebody that can run the 15 and the 3 or the 15 and the 5, and I don't have to make a choice, I'm going to put them in both. But if you have an athlete who clearly can be highly successful in the 4-2 double, and it's now made impossible by time schedule, I can't be the only person that thinks that that's wrong.
I think the single gender meet is the culprit, obviously, but more than anything else, I think we are still being held hostage, and I could use better terms, but what is it that we're going to see on TV? We're going to see the mile. We are going to see the 3K. We are going to see the 5K, right? And I think there's still a general mindset that this is what the public want to see. And I think as long as that's the case, they will continue to push the narrative that, hey, this is what we have going on. This athlete is doing this, this athlete is doing that. I mean, I cannot wait to see the coverage of the mile. I can't wait, because we're going to see what, 6 Washington athletes?
But you can wait because it's going to be very boring. We're at altitude, so they're going to go out in 67.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the men.
Yeah.
You know, the worst part about that is that they're gonna pontificate into all kinds of craziness and nonsense. You want to know why? Because Washington is going to be in the team title.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to hear
so.
about this in the mile and the 3K and the 5K all weekend.
That's right.
Yeah, it's on the, and to be fair, like I don't think we should take away from the fact that whether it's Washington or somebody else who's done a great job in the distances, that they shouldn't be talked about, because they should.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, like, it's not fair. And I think the governor is right. It's the split gender meet has caused a lot of this.
Yeah.
I also think the utter disrespect of the 200 itself.
Exactly.
Because trust me, if they could, they would get rid of the 200. Trust me, they would. It's just, nobody's going to allow that to happen. So, and I think that it's wrong. And I think that if you're going to have the split gender meet, can you find a way to allow that double? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's all kind of ways.
If you move the 400 earlier in the meet, and you still get, the only problem you have now for some people is that going to give less time for those other mile 5K, 3K DMR? I mean, mile DMR doubles that we talk about. So, if there is a movement to put this back into a situation where you could do the 4-2 double, it could be done.
Yeah.
I mean, all you have to do is look at the schedule and you can see clear as day that it could very easily be done. There's no reason that the mile has to open the meet. There's no reason that the hurdles have to be dead center.
Yeah.
Why are the hurdles dead in the middle? What? I mean, there's so many ways to move this around that would allow for that double. I mean,
because am I wrong, Clyde? You can 60 hurdle, 60 double, but there's nothing natural about that double.
Correct. No,
Right.
no one.
There's three circus freaks a year that can do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you just look at the schedule and make the 400 the first event instead of the mile, aren't we good?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
How hard was that?
Yes.
I'm not even looking at the schedule.
Right.
Just
if you want to be weird,
the first event.
Right. If you want to be weird and open the meet with the mile, you could just be weird and open it with the 400. Like, it's fine.
Exactly.
I mean, the 60 hurdle double, you can do that back to back.
Say that again.
Throw him out there.
I vote that Clyde makes it a proposal, and then you get up before so I want to see you get up and explain why this is wrong to the masses. I think it would be masterful, provided you're going to behave yourself.
Listen, there's no chance that I would behave myself. However, right now, I was able to respectfully negotiate, is the word I will use, my way into a smarter approach to the Mountain West schedule,
right,
and timing and rules. I'm sure I could pull it off. Doesn't mean I'm gonna behave, but maybe if I get bored, get me up there.
Okay.
For me, I always work it backwards, right? I just want you to imagine that we put together a schedule where the 15 3K or the 15 5K double wasn't possible. Let's put those two events back to back.
Wow. Because you do understand we have this same issue outdoors, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Exact same issue outdoors.
Yes. Yeah. And it's exactly on purpose. And I think
absolutely on purpose.
That's why I just have so much of a problem with it, is because again, if you did the time schedule in reverse, right? If you move the balance of power via schedule to the sprints, you gave a little bit more rest, and then you put the mile and the 3K back to back, or the mile and the 5K back to back, you would get laughed out of a room.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, look, let's all just be understanding of the fact that we know the driving forces behind track and field, and there's a plethora of distance folks out there that sit on these committees, that sit in these rooms, and I mean, hence the fact that during the pandemic we had 2 cross-country championships in the same academic year.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
Oh.
No disrespect to anybody that hey, I'm just saying.
No,
At the end of
but
the day,
that
Wasn't the cross country championship the week after the indoor NCAA championship?
Yes.
Yes, the second one was
but to that point, right? And we can complain, and we shall, and we will. But for all the others out there that are also complaining, like it's the nature of everything else, right? It's politics. So if it's a big deal to you and you don't like these things, get on the committees. It's not like you can't get on. Make change from the inside, because it's going to keep going this way.
So, and she is going to love me for saying this. If you really want to get something done, Carol Smith Gilbert is the new president. She'd love to talk to you about it.
Ooh.
This is true.
Okay.
I don't know if the second half of that is true, but the first part of that is true.
Because any of us do really know, we lovingly call her Carol Gilbert Wayne. She would love to be able to, she's a sprint person, and she'd love to be able to create the fact that you can run all 3 sprints without there being a problem. So yeah, ring her up.
All right.
You stop trying to make me laugh.
Oh man, thank God my brain doesn't talk out loud. So with that being said, we're gonna segue over to Would You Rather. And Governor,
Oh, okay.
it's
I
your
feel like
speech.
it should automatically land on Lucius.
So I almost did it. But
I expected it to be me. I did, but
no, I'm making you come back. That's why.
okay. All right. Okay.
I got a plan.
Oh Lord.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm just glad you're
I
on
could-
the show so I can stop fielding calls and text messages about you. Is he okay? Is there something going on? Is there a rift between you two? What did you? This is my favorite. To me, what did you do?
Oh God.
Oh, I thought it would be blamed on me personally. It wasn't blamed on me.
Well, sure it was, but I didn't
Lucius,
want to throw you under the bus on the show.
you missed you asking me about drumsticks.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Wow. So basically, she went petty with you because I wasn't around. There you go.
She went weird. That's what she went. It's weird.
Yeah.
So, okay, 2 sidebars. 1, we are not having an LLC live in Albuquerque because not all of us will be there. 1. 2, very funny that the word weird has come up 3 different times in this conversation in the last, for us, hour and 40 minutes. Because there is a comment made today that there is a certain part of the world that the word weirdo, the adjective weirdo, is actually really offensive. And to me, and maybe it's my age, but definitely like my Americanism, I was like, that's a stupid word. Like, it's just silly. But there's cultures who think that's very offensive. And I just think it's so funny. And that's the 3rd time it's been used. And
Well, since you're wasting our clock on this, where are these cultures?
we're ahead of time. That's why I could do this. I already checked.
Where are these cultures?
Across the pond.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because my newfound friend, Mr. GB, when we told him, we said, yeah, they called him a weird. They called them, I'm not giving any pronouns. They called them a weirdo. And he was like, what?
Oh,
And I was like, what? That's a real thing. Like, you just reacted. So weird.
I mean, it's not a
that's not
compliment.
weird. I mean, I know, but I don't know. Anyways, anyhow,
Well,
Governor.
here in Texas, it is. I mean, the Austin city motto is keep Austin weird.
Keep Austin weird, yes.
Sir, it's Texas.
Just say it.
Okay. Anyways, you're ready, sir.
I'm ready.
All right. Would you rather eat a Caesar salad or a house salad?
House,
Okay, what's the dressing?
honey mustard.
Got it. Okay. Would you rather have a Letterman jacket or a ring?
A ring.
Like a class ring.
A
Okay,
ring.
got it. Would you rather
I'm
throw
not
the
Team
hammer?
Wolf. I'm not Team Wolf. No.
Would you rather throw the hammer or run the steeple?
Roll the hammer. I'm actually a closet. I'm a closet thrower. It's what I am. If anyone watches my like body language, if I'm at a meet or something, and I happen to glance over, I'm literally throwing the javelin or the discus in my mind. Like I do that.
Somebody help him. All right. Would you rather be the big clapper at the meet or the big yeller at the meet?
Well, I will go on record as saying, as having watched the greats, use clap as their tool to give great performances. I mean, one of my biggest achievements on the circuit, I actually stopped the 100 meters in Linz, Austria. That year, the meet where I jumped 863, the 100 was about to go off. And I got the folks on the back stretch clapping, and eventually the entire stadium just started clapping. And I was like, I can die right now. I'm good. I did that, So yes, it's all about clapping.
Got it. Would you rather congratulate your athlete with a dab or a high five?
High five.
Got
High
it.
five.
Those are my questions.
All right.
Gentlemen.
Okay, so because I spent some time around you at the track, and I do know that you do have a tendency to wander to the other field events when you're not busy with the long and triple jump. Okay, which event would you rather coach? Would you rather coach the hammer or the javelin?
I would have a whole lot more fun coaching the jav because of everything that it entails. And I would probably want to incorporate a little bit more of the sprint side of things. I would love to see how that would work, because obviously there's still an element of control and all of that, but boy, I would have a lot of fun with some good talent. I'd love to see it.
Next.
Questions for the governor. Would you rather stay at the Doubletree for Albuquerque or the Clyde?
I would rather stay at the Clyde.
It's the wrong choice, but I appreciate it.
I'm getting ready to say, you are going to miss out on the cookies.
I have
after the show, remind me to tell you guys my MJ Doubletree story.
Okay.
Okay, sir. What have you robbed from the public more? The governor as a triple jumper or the governor as a high jumper?
Ooh, 100%. I have robbed the world of a possible world-class triple jump. Yes, I will. That is, I tend to let the stress kind of roll off of me or whatever. But every now and then I'm like, man, what could I have done in that event? Now,
For the record, what is your triple jump PB?
Oh, I mean, here's my issue. And I know this for a fact. If I had done the triple in college, I would have had to have hopped off my right foot. There's no way that I could have hopped off my left, because my left foot did one thing and one thing only, and that was go to the moon. So I jumped about 47 feet in college, but in high school, but it was like a 15-foot hop, like a 8-foot step, and then another 20-foot jump. It was like something crazy like that. I did the boop, boop, boop. That was my triple jump, so.
Oh, it was his penultimate for the jab. He
That
was
was
just
it.
getting primed up.
And as afraid of your speed as you are the long jump, I can't imagine.
Oh,
No way.
You know what would have had to happen? You would have had to go from my man Arkansas's approach.
Yeah.
They would have gave Kareem 8 steps.
Yes.
And after 10 years, he would have progressed out to 10.
This is all you get. Make it work.
oh man, that was fun. Well, good job. Good job, everyone. So rounding out the show with heartbeat props, as always, letting everyone know that we appreciate them while they're here to hear their words fall in their ears. And Clyde is raising his hand to go first. So by all means, sir.
I want to go first because I'm going to be like super homer. Heartbeat props go out to the Mountain West Conference, which if you pay attention to it, and a lot of people don't, is in the middle of a very good transition, if not, dare I say, transformation. It's always been known as a distance power, but we have elite athletes now across the board. And, I think that's because of a lot of changes that have gone on, and I appreciate the growth. But to that point, my heartbeat props are all about my crew this past weekend. I know we're on a truncated timetable, so I will go as fast as I can. The San Jose State athletes won 7 championships, most of which were done by freshmen. We set 31 personal bests and 9 San Jose State school records. And the women's program is relatively new in history, so when you break a program record there, it means a lot. But we took a record away from the legend that is Tommy Smith this weekend. Christopher Coates, freshman, ran 46.27 indoors this year, just barely eclipsing that record. And I could not be, more excited about the work that I'm able to do with these young people in conjunction with Ernie Clark and the time and dedication that they've put in. But Demarius Waters, freshman, 772, school record, Mountain West Conference record, meet record in the hurdles, barely missed nationals. Roman Johnson in the 60. Cam Tarver, freshman, 2087. Alyssa, and the biggest one, to TJ Harris, the coach, and Amelia Sonstrand, our sophomore long and triple jumper, who jumped 646 in the long jump and 1373 in the triple, and is going to nationals in both events. We were on fire this weekend, and I couldn't be prouder of the crew. And when you're doing these things and breaking those specific records, I, for the first time, will respectfully refer to them as Speed City. So thank you guys, and I appreciate you.
Congrats.
I'd like to go last if you guys don't mind.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't really have anybody in particular. But, again, I just want to give heartbeat props to the athletes that show up on conference weekend. When we're going through the recruiting process, we're telling them, hey, twice a year, I need you to go to the well. I need you to go above and beyond for your team. And what was on display this weekend was absolutely phenomenal. And you know, it's you ask yourself, when do we get to a breaking point? When do these results start coming down? And from what I'm seeing, it's not happening anytime soon. We are going to continue to see these athletes do amazing things. And so, you know, I want to give heartbeat props to the NCAA track and field world. I want to give heartbeat props to the coaches that got them prepared, to put on the show. And I can't wait to see what happens in less than a week. Can't wait.
I'm gonna give heartbeat props to the support staff that handles all of the off-season / preseason training for all of my baseball guys. The men and women over at APEC in Fort Worth, Brian Willis, who owns and runs the lab, the Lucroy family, who owns and run Kova, and all of my guys' favorite tormentor, Coach Marissa Chu, who handles what the guys call Choose Violence on Wednesdays. It's awesome to watch a group of guys get out of their comfort zone and allow themselves to be worked and molded and see like visible changes. 7 to 10 pounds of muscle gain, 15, 16 degree increase in hip mobility. All strength numbers go through the roof. All power output numbers go through the roof. And, you know, ability to hit and do all those other things, also going through the roof. So some of the people I mentioned watch the show, some do not, but I would be remiss as the agent if I didn't say, you know, thank you and give a huge shout out to all of these wonderful people who help make my job more enjoyable and easier.
My heartbeat props go out to Choose Crew. We're on our third rendition of that group now. At that point, it is the collegiate group. The decks like to be Choose Crew sometimes too, but this specifically to the collegiate group because we stole some points from some people who didn't think that we could steal some points, and it really meant a lot. And I for the first time in I think in a really long time, the group ended up scoring a point, and I didn't know it. And I was told and shown the results, and I literally did let's call it a 20-meter lap, a 20-meter lap in the pole vault box because I had to come back and coach. So I took a quick one. But they all just did big things, and you know, we had a little bit of disappointment, but it's a-okay because it's part of it, and we can keep going from there. And it's awesome to see the growth, just like Lamar was talking about. So cool stuff, Choose Crew.
I want to start by saying I want to thank everybody for all the love and support. The last 3 or 4 months of my life have been pretty tough. I lost my mom, who was absolutely my biggest cheerleader back in November. So no, Lamar Darkness did nothing to me. Clyde did nothing to me. I've actually missed being with you guys every week. I just needed to take some time and, you know, kind of a little self-care to keep my mind straight. So for those of you who thought that someone had wronged me, there was no wrong here. I just needed to step away for a little bit and take care of some things. But I wanted to give some heartbeat props to, you know, just the track and field community as a whole, and specifically, you know, some people that are close to me, you know, starting with Big League and the governor and Clyde for, you know, the work you guys have done this year. You know, shout out to my man, Edric Floriel, for what he's doing over at Texas, Lonnie Green, the wonderful things he's doing over at Kentucky, Chris Johnson, you know, I mean, again, at Kentucky, Chris Johnson at Arkansas, phenomenal job. Tim Hall continues to quietly do a great job. I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody, but just looking at the results, looking at the comments, our man Mont Johnson, back in the fold at Oakland, doing some great things. And so I just want, for that community of people out there that are doing great things and continue to show great growth in the sport. Ruben at North Carolina State has lost his mind, hasn't he? He's got 6.5s and 7.6 hurdlers, and so it's like those kind of performances by, the young, coaches in the community out there is, like the governor said, track and field's not going away. And extremely impressed with all you guys, and keep up the good work, because the old guys got to step away sometime. I want to be able to watch some good track and field when I do. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, not diss. Speaking of old guys, happy birthday, Brooks Johnson. I just saw that on
Absolutely.
Facebook today.
89. 89. Wow. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
So
big shout out to the absolute godfather of the sport, right?
Yes.
We sure it's not 98.
Positive.
Happy birthday, Brooks. We love
you're
you.
about to, you're about to get whooped.
You're about to be a meme, and you're about to get whooped. So get ready, because somebody is going to record that and show
I'm gonna be checking his Facebook posts from here on out.
He's
exactly.
Say,
yeah.
He's good
My
for
guy.
tuning in on threads. He's good for that. So
Brooks knows we love him.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does know that. Yeah.
I love it. Well, with that said, everyone, thank you so much. Sir Lucius, it's great to have you back on the screen tonight. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are smiling and clapping right now. I guarantee you. So the ease of our text messages, thank you. So without further ado, thank you, everyone. Have a great quote unquote rest week before the big meet next week. And other than that, we'll see each other soon. Bye, everyone.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents smash the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot, knife the butter. Truth hit them hard, knock them off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics LLC, there's no others. Track and field's place and we'll peel to go further. Hey, Wile E. Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these four corners wouldn't be here, but we here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to you? Circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass it, failed, and sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics LLC, the task force.